Welcome to Boom in Your Face podcast series, dedicated to independent artists, creative musicians, and the entertainment industry. We're excited to dive into the backstories in the world of independent artistry and explore the stories and experience of those who are creating some of the most exciting and innovative work today. As we all know, the entertainment industry can be a challenging and competitive place, and independent artists and creatives often face even greater hurdles when it comes to getting their work seen or heard. However, despite these challenges, independent artists and creatives continue to push the boundaries of what's possible and bring their unique perspectives and talents to the world. That's why we need your support. We're committed to bringing you the most interesting and informative conversations with independent artists and creators from all walks of life. But we can't do it without your help. By supporting our podcast, you help us to bring these important stories to a wider audience and give independent artists and creatives the recognition they deserve. So whether you're a fan of independent music, film, art, or just love hearing about the latest trends and developments in the entertainment industry, we invite you to join us on this exciting journey. With your support, we can shine a spotlight on the incredible work being done by independent artists and creators around the world and help to ensure their voices are heard loud and clear. Thank you for listening, and we can't wait to bring you our next episode at Boom in Your Face podcast. Blessings. Welcome back. This is part 2 of how to make money beyond the music.
Over $20,000.
Now, wow. See that? That's $20,000 people are missing out on by not just investing in merch.
I mean, yeah, national bands sell that kind of those kind of numbers and more, but we're
It's
a regional band. I mean, we don't even have a song that with 50,000 plays on Spotify. We're just at the kind of the entry level. We're good, we got the talent and all that, but we're at entry level. And to be selling those kind of numbers at the level,
that's amazing. Yes. All right, you're worth all your salary.
Well, that's why I wanted her on here, because she's got a good story that there's just so much more potential than people think. Who is thinking about their merchandise stand? You order the stuff, you put somebody behind the table, and that's it. That's all people think about.
Right. Well, that's why it's so important to have a team. Because when you don't have a team, and I tell artists this all the time, yes, you could do all these different hats, but why would you want to? You want to be your creative self at the most maximum you can be. So you put other people around you that you can trust, that have your back and can handle those different delegated spots. And you have taken it and ran with it. So kudos to you for doing what you did and opening their eyes to a whole nother revenue stream that's starting to pour in. Just like Scott saying that will bring maybe much more money than you'll get from off an album that you just released in the short term. But in the long term, of course, the album will be out there long after you selling the shirt. But for now, that's the hot topic. Merch.
Yeah.
Right? Merch is everything.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just gonna constantly evolve, like as they get bigger and as we grow. So I like it's kind of like an extension like of the band. It's like giving people an opportunity to just kind of immerse themselves into the Hippies and Cowboys nation. So coming up at the end, being able to sign t-shirts or take home a record and just take home like a piece of the show. And then also like so much more interactive than just like buying a t-shirt. Like it actually is like this an extension of the performance itself.
We played an indoor show under a pavilion roof about 2 years ago. So we could have just set a table up for her, but put the pop-up tent that you normally see, outdoor
10 by 10 standard white tent usually.
We put the pop-up tent. She wanted to put the pop-up tent so she could string lights and things underneath. So when people walked from the back part of the pavilion into her tent, she wanted to give out an experience of walking into this little
into your hippie aura.
Exactly.
Right.
I get it. Yeah, that's awesome. See, that's forward thinking. Just like being aggressive to come back and have the confidence to even approach the band and say, "Look, I'm your girl," and you've proven it.
Let me tell you, that was quite the hype talk. I was giving myself driving down here. I was like, I have friends in Nashville, so it all kind of worked out. But I walked into that bar by myself, and I was like, if if you don't put yourself out there, like I could have still been in Atlanta and it would have been fine, but it definitely wouldn't have been as cool.
Right. So let me ask you this. Do y'all have a fan club on the website where people can sign up? Have you started that?
We have not gotten the traditional fan club yet.
Because, go ahead.
These days, social media the way it is, the fans and followers, you got the TikTok fan base, you got the Instagram fan base, you got the Facebook, and they each have their different, pattern. That's really, if they're watching us and coming out to our shows and buying our merch, those are little fan clubs right there.
Right.
So it's different than before social media when you had to have a fan club and you'd respond, you'd send out postcards or letters or whatever. So it's like we have online fan clubs. We haven't really made a Hippies and Cowboys fan club where you sign up. We haven't gotten to that point yet.
Okay. So now I'm talking straight to you, Karlee. When you sell your merch, you can have them have your laptop there. Let them get the sign in and get maybe a free sneak of a new release or something that they're working on for signing up and becoming a member.
Right.
And that way you can always send your super fans, because that's what they will become. Little behind the scenes kind of thing, and it could grow as another something as well.
Absolutely.
True.
But there's always room to grow.
Maybe the iPad that's sitting over here on this shelf could be.
Exactly. It could be working, making some money for you.
There we go. We're going to do iPads out.
Mary, you're giving us ideas, Mary. It's notepad going here. We got to press the iPad into service for the email sign-up list. There we go.
There you
go. iPad's out. 2024.
Very good. Any other ideas you have for us, Miss Mary?
I have plenty, but we'll talk about that later.
All right.
We'll come up to one of them shows and then we'll talk about it. But I love the idea too, when you're taking and giving the whole experience up at the tents, when you're doing events, then you have the space to put a pop-up tent that you can put all the, the memorabilia around and things of that nature and give that experience, because it is about the experience that people remember more so than even the last tune. It's about the feeling that you got once you came.
Correct.
Absolutely.
So, people don't always remember what you said to them, but they always remember how you made them feel.
Absolutely.
So that's how that goes. Y'all have such a beautiful band, though, Scott. Aaron is just a blessing. He's just a sweet spirit. Y'all. That's why y'all continue to be blessed with the Hippies and Cowboy band, because y'all have a great aura among you.
He is a hard-working guy, and as you know, because he and I have been on this podcast before, he and I put this band together after he looked me in the eye in his native Kokomo, Indiana, early January 2019. We've told that story before.
Right.
He looked at me and he said, "I'm moving to Nashville. Y'all want to be my band?" So he put himself out there as well. She looked us in the eye and said she wanted in. So he was, staking his claim, like, I'm coming to Nashville. I'm going to do this. And he has not let up. The dude works hard. We played our first major festival. Back up a minute. There was a music industry guy that I got to know working with David Ball a decade ago.
Okay.
And I was trying to get the band up to the next level, because I met some people around Nashville working on Music Row. I wanted to get, we finally had, this is like the third lineup of this band.
Okay.
A live album that we just showed you. Part of the concept with that is to kind of chronicle all the stages the band has gone through.
Right.
There's previous members playing on that have written some of the songs, and their photos are in there. But we finally have the band right now that's ready to get cranking. So I started, putting feelers out amongst music industry people in Nashville.
Right.
And, there's a certain way that things get done in Nashville. There's a certain way they take music to radio. There's a certain way they do social media. And, there's kind of a modern way of doing things. And Aaron is just so old school. He didn't want to really do it that way. He didn't want to TikTok in a certain way and post at a certain time of day and do what everyone else was doing to kind of grab the trendiness of what's happening right now, grab his little piece of that. He just
Right.
wanted to do his own thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy is kind of an old school, I mean, he's a real estate guy, but he's a great salesperson, loves music, has managed bands successfully because he just loves it and he knows so many folks.
Right.
And we started talking to him middle of 2022. I had a lunch with him. I remember June of 22.
Okay.
And by August, we were going down to Leapers Fork, Tennessee to play open mics at a club that he owned. And I think he knew what I was doing, putting this guy, this lead singer, this wonder kid that can sing anything.
Right.
Okay, bring him down to the open mic. Let's check him out. Let's have a listen, is what he
Right.
said to me. So we started knocking him dead in that open mic. We'd play 2 songs and get standing ovations, and he would just go after the crowd and just engage the crowd. And then,
Right.
you know, you got to talk to them before and after and have drinks with them and get to know their names and meet their wives and their husbands and their whatever. Just, you know, it's like being a politician. You got to babies and all that. After about 3 or 4 months, of these coming into these open mics, they gave us a Wednesday night slot. We sold out a Wednesday night slot at this club.
Wow, that's something to sell out a Wednesday.
And then we sold it out again. And then we sold it out a third time. And then they gave us a Saturday last July, and we sold that out. And these performances, we started recording these performances. That became that album I just showed you, Live from Fox and Lock. That's the name of that club. So this club owner, this music industry vet, this old school guy, we've been like courting him to be our manager.
Okay.
And he's coming on board slowly but surely. He's testing us. He's testing our resolve. He's testing our work ethic. He's testing our mental tough being in this industry.
It absolutely is.
And it looks like he's coming on board and really wants to help us. And he got us a spot playing Pilgrimage Festival here in Franklin, Tennessee. Biggest festival we've ever played. We're part of a spread in People magazine, all of that cool stuff you've been seeing happening just recently.
Right.
But it started with Aaron's ridiculous talent, his ridiculous work ethic. And then I heard that. And like I told you in that story, that podcast, you know, years ago, I thought, okay, he doesn't know anybody in this town. I don't know where this is going. Anybody sing like this? So
that's awesome.
I took a chance. She took a chance.
And that's how life is. You know, people, you know, you say social media and all these things, which is great. It's a good tool for certain arenas and mainly for business. That's how I feel. But what never goes away is the personal touch. Interacting with people, being right there in their face, talking to them so they can get a sense of who you are and what you're about. Nothing will ever replace that. No matter how many other gadgets they come up with, the personal touch will never go away.
Personal touch, also the passion, and realizing that when you see it. Like I knew there was something there when I heard him sing.
Right.
There was something there when she heard us perform and saw us perform. So, you know, to everyone out there listening, when you come across something and you know it's good, and you maybe it's the start of a relationship. You see a guy and he catches your attention. You start talking to him, and you know there's something there that you want to go after. And it may not make much sense in the short term, but everyone knows that feeling when they see something important,
something special,
something they want to pursue. So I say, go after it, even if it may not make sense in the short term. She was living 4 hours away. Aaron doesn't have anything going on in Nashville. I'm playing with another artist.
Right.
But just making room in your life for those opportunities to happen and going after them they may not make short-term sense. They may not make financial sense, but see something there and passion is there. So personal touch, as you say, going after that passion, and then just following it with ridiculous work ethic so that you're just going to outwork everyone else.
That's right. I love the story.
Yeah.
That you was willing to go do the open mics, right? As gifted and as talented as y'all are and as experienced you are, but you still humbled yourself and went down and did open mic, because there's nothing wrong with that. And that's how you really get the true feedback of how the audience really are gravitating towards your music. So it's really about testing it as well. But then the fact that you kept going and then it led into something else.
An hour drive each way to get to this club, not paid. Everybody go down there and they'd spend 20, 30, 50 bucks or more on a bar tab. And we did that, but it just felt like the right thing to do. And of course, we wanted to impress this music industry guy who owned the club. So we had a couple reasons for wanting to do it, but it felt like the right thing to do. So we kept doing it. And everybody in the band was of the same mind, because that's what's difficult in a band. All you musicians out there, you get one guy that goes, oh, well, we're not getting paid, and somebody's going to give me gas money, and I mean, my kids have something going on, and there's always reasons. But if you want to do this or want to do anything, make it a priority.
Exactly.
Even when you might not be getting any short-term compensation or reward for it.
Correct. Because it has to be bigger than the paycheck in the first place, really. What you do has to be your passion, truly, that you're not just chasing money, but you're chasing your dream. Money will always come. But if you true in your heart, really chasing something that you believe in, then the money will come behind it. And that's
preach, Mary, preach.
Yes, I will. But also, I love the way your future manager is grooming you all, because it's so important to make sure that everybody's cohesive, that people understand that it is hard work, that sometimes you might not get the bonus that you think you're going to get, but you're still going to know it takes more work, effort, and time, and we'll get there where we're going. Without the complaints and the grief and the woe was me kind of attitude, but still be loving what you're doing. Just for the opportunity.
The right people on the bus. You got to have the right members.
It's important because it's a lot of your time that you give up when you're a manager to push other people's dreams, as long as with your dream of having a dream band. So it has to be a marriage of sorts.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so that'll be your manager. Don't worry about it. You already got that in the bag. Who knows when he's looking at something special and what y'all bring to the table, because y'all bring some phenomenal music, some great personalities, and some wonderful spirits. So with all those things, who would look by you?
So we're hoping.
Well, I'll be praying for that for you all.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now you have your new release. When are you going to do a tour on that? Or are you already touring that album?
What we're doing right now, we're already in the studio working on, working on a studio record.
Okay.
Getting more experienced songwriters. We just got out of 2 weeks in the studio with a producer selected by our manager.
Okay.
Really the first time we've had a producer. So anything that's on Spotify right now, or wherever you find music, YouTube, anything on the Hippies and Cowboys, thus far, we have produced it ourselves. Pretty darn good considering we produced it ourselves. But we came out of these studio sessions the last 2 weeks. It's going to be up a notch. So what's happening right now, we're still kind of preparing ourselves. We're trying not to take it from the standpoint of, well, let's just hop in the Sprinter van and just drive anywhere that people will have us. And, you play for 5 people one night and 25 people the next time. We're trying to lay a little bit more groundwork. We're actually getting really good opportunities from playing downtown.
Okay.
People see us, and we're playing private events. We're playing club grand openings. We're playing community events, really all around the country. Within the next 5 weeks, we're going to Detroit next weekend to play a club that we've played a while. We've got a fan base built up there.
Right.
Private event in Florida, private event in Colorado. So it's kind of like it's out and back when it makes financial sense to do it.
Right.
We probably will not tour behind this particular record.
Okay.
This is kind of like a foundational piece to just keep building fan base. You have to keep putting content out there to build your tribe, to build the people that are following you.
Right.
So it is a great piece to get people's attentions. It's a great looking record. It's got 4 sides. It's good
Okay.
artwork, photos. We took time with it so people see it and they want it autographed, and they see us in Nashville and realize, okay, this very well might be the next big thing. We're going to start following them.
Well, that's a classic album that you have on your hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So building fan
that's
base.
what I'm used to growing up with.
So we're probably going to keep on the same track over the winter, have our residency in Nashville, which is the day job. It pays the bills, but it's still playing music. We still sneak in our own original tunes while playing a lot of cover songs. Get this record out, and hopefully by next spring or summer, whether it's, you know, you buy onto the tour with somebody, you're opening for somebody, you're doing a little tour on your own because you've attracted a booking agent that can put that together. That's what's in store for us, I'd say, next spring and summer.
Okay. Now, you know, I'm gonna ask you 2 things. What part of Florida are you coming to do your private event?
Outside of Orlando at a place called Claremont, Florida.
Okay, you have to let me know when you're in the area because that's close to me.
Okay.
And the second thing is, what are you doing this New Year's Eve?
Most likely we will be downtown playing somewhere. There's nothing in the books right now. There's no big event where we're traveling. So I've tried to reserve the holidays to stay downtown because they do so much for us. The big weekends, we try to keep ourselves available when all the crowds come into town, because we're one of their top bands at Kid Rocks. So we respect that, and they are the ones that are providing the weekly gigs that keep our bus tires going down the road.
I understand.
Most likely be in town, which means if you just give me a couple days notice and email me, I would love to jump on board your end of year recap, if that's what you're asking.
Absolutely. You know, I want to let you shine and show you off.
All right.
It'll be special if you're doing a live event, but if not, either way, it'll be special to hear you. So we need to coordinate that so that way you could jump in. You can have the camera, Karlee. You're going to be having multi-hats.
There we go.
We might be filming this on location, Miss Mary.
Maybe.
Might be filming this on location.
So now we got Hippies and Cowboys, the new album out. And what's the name of the new album again?
The new album is Live at Fox and Lock.
Okay, Live at Fox. And what's the theme of that? What was the theme you was going for that album?
It's really just it was about half of the music are our songs, originals. That's kind of like a summary of the best of the first 3 or 4 years of this band.
Okay.
So the theme is, okay, let's have a look back, retrospective of how the band got to this point. And then the other half of the album are some of the cover songs that we love to play, because as every original band knows, until you start getting hits that people recognize, you have to give them something they know. You have to play some couple of tunes that will just draw them back in. You can't go out to a show and see a band play an hour and a half of music you don't know.
Correct.
At some point, you're going to start to lose them, and you don't want to lose them. So on that record, we do a pretty cool version of Day Tripper by the Beatles, our own version of that. We've got a version of With a Little Help from My Friends, a Beatles tune, although we do more of the Joe Cocker version of it.
Okay.
Casey Jones by the Grateful Dead. And then there's a great blues tune called Changes. As you know, the band kind of walks the line of Southern rock, classic rock, Southern soul, blues. All of that is in there.
Okay.
So there's a lot of variety on that record, but it's really more of a retrospective of here's the Hippies and Cowboys first 3 to 4 years. Let's mark this in time, and now we're going forward from there with some, you know, some different songwriting input. Now we've got a manager to help propel this. Now we're really starting to crank up.
Well, that's all right. Listen, it takes time. No matter what stage of your career, it always takes time when you have a project for it to really be worked upon and for it to get to what you need it to be.
Yeah.
You know? And it sounds like you're talking about transformation on what y'all was writing about for those 3 years, because it was a transformation of how the band was going through its period to get to this point. So
Really?
next album, write that down, Transformation. So that's awesome. I enjoyed talking with both of you. I look forward to seeing you New Year's Eve. But God, let them know exactly where to reach you and how your social media handles.
Hippies and Cowboys Band on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook. hippiesandcowboysband.com is the website.
/store is the merchandise.
All right.
How can they find you if they want to follow you and follow all your wonderful exploits? You know, when she's on the merch stand, she's filming stories about how the merch. I mean, people are going to get
Doing advertising.
It's Karlee E. That's my name. Karlee Elza. KarleeElza.
All right.
There we go.
All right, Karlee, they're going to be coming for you now. Everybody's going to need you to stop being the merch girl in Nashville. That's what you'll become.
It's Karlee E.
Well, like I said, thank you for coming on. It's wonderful talking to you again, Scott. Wonderful meeting you, Karlee. You've been really helping out the band in a great way. And I know that everything that he's saying that you're doing is going to enhance all what's going to happen in the future for all of you. So keep going.
I can't wait. It's been a great ride, and the best is yet to come.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mary, for this opportunity. Thank you for your interest and for this platform that you're getting the word out to so many listeners. I know you're doing a great thing.
Well, I appreciate it. You have a great night.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
Bye. Bye. Listeners, I want to thank you again for joining me for another episode of Booming Your Face. Please remember to support the podcast on the website. As a reminder, if you'd like to share your Booming Your Face music or share your Booming Your Face moment, or just want to join in the conversation, reach out and email me at boomingyourface616@gmail.com or visit the website and sign up for the newsletter and share your story. I'm your host, Mary Kearney. Be blessed. Booming your face. Booming your face. Booming your face.